All right, so the question is about cheat meals. Why have a cheat meal? What is it? Who is it for? All right, so let's break it down. A cheat meal is, think about this. What's your favorite not so healthy food? Or your favorite food that's, we'll say, quote unquote off limits when you're trying to lose weight? All right, well, for me, it's pizza and beer. Love pizza, and I like to have a beer from time to time. So, for me, cheat meal is usually that. It could be I get a Buffalo Wild Wings dinner, or maybe it's, burgers. I like to have a big fat burger with a bun and all the fixings, right? So that would be an example or several examples of a cheat meal. Now, when and why and all the other stuff. All right, so if you are making progress, you're eating really well day to day, you're doing good solid meals, healthy meals, and then all of a sudden you have a cheat meal. Once per week, maybe once every 2 weeks, based on kind of where you're at in your fitness journey. Well, that is a really wise thing to do. However, let me break it down, let me back it up a little bit. Let's say it's Monday, you're good. Tuesday, you're good. Wednesday, cheat meal. Thursday, you're good. Friday, cheat meal. Saturday, cheat meal. Sunday, cheat meal. It doesn't work that way. Those are no longer cheat meals. Those are just a component of how you eat. That's just like pretty much the way you're eating half the time, or a good portion of the time. A cheat meal is very occasional, very rarely. So like I was saying, probably once a week. I mean, maximum twice a week, but you might spread it out to every few weeks. But why do we want to have a cheat meal? Why shouldn't I just be better than that, Randy? Well, because there's a couple of reasons. I'm going to break them down for you right now. One is psychologically, like up in your brain, if you restrict yourself and you deprive yourself from having that thing that you just love so much that you will miss forever if you don't have it, what happens is you have the discipline for a while and you can force it. You can stick with it for some time until eventually you can't anymore. And you cave in. Maybe you get hit with stress and then bam, you're like, I'm giving in and I'm going to have that food and I'm going to binge and have all the pizza in the world, right? That's what usually happens, and that's why people go on this yo-yo of losing and gaining weight. So what you're going to do is not let that happen, because you're going to not deprive yourself and not completely restrict yourself forever. You're going to give yourself that reprieve every now and again with the cheat meal. So that's psychologically. Also physiologically, number 2 is physiological. Within your body, it does your body good to have that cheat meal. Let's just say, here's your break-even point in terms of the amount of calories you can consume in a day without gaining weight. All right, so you're here, but actually, to lose weight, because you're making progress, you're eating less, maybe a little bit less than your break-even point. All right, so that's if you're cutting down, you're trimming off body fat. But then eventually you plateau and you're stuck. Your weight's staying the same. Well, that's because you're not shocking your body with a little cheat meal from time to time. When you crank up those calories that you eat, it keeps your body honest. It keeps the metabolism going. Kind of tricks your body in a way that keeps things firing the way that they should. And you gotta remember also, you're gonna feel like garbage if you go months on end without eating any junk food, and then all of a sudden you then have that junk food. You're gonna feel really bad. Your gut bacteria has repopulated in ways that is gonna make it absolutely super destructive if you go and have a serious cheat meal after having none forever. So the cheat meal is very important physiologically to help you continue to make progress rather than plateau. It's also very important psychologically so that we don't lose our damn minds. All right, I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that I explained it very clearly. If you have any questions, holler at me.